In recent years, a dedicated group of people have been working on a decompilation of GameCube's Animal Crossing. It's exciting to think of what's to come, like potentially a PC port? For now, a prominent programmer in the scene has been working on something special regarding the original GameCube release, and that's Animal Crossing Deluxe by Cuyler, with the help of Mango Mam, Final Haunt, Nintendo GameCube TM, Your Pal Fox, and Hey. You might already know that the original Animal Crossing had several releases, each with some amount of unique content. Now what if you brought that all together in one package? Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. And as if that wasn't enough, Animal Crossing Deluxe also backports certain features and items from newer entries. The cherry on top are its numerous quality of life improvements that'll keep me from ever playing the vanilla game again. For starters, keep in mind that progress is still ongoing, but the mod shouldn't radically change from this point forward. Safe to say it's in good shape as is, and thankfully you will be able to continue your saved game after applying future updates. So there's no better time to install and start playing. For this video, I'm using a January 2026 build, version 0.35.1. To build your Deluxe ROM, you'll need an existing 1.4GB USA ROM and patch it using the XDelta UI software. Then you're good to go, it's that easy. When I first booted up the mod, it actually loaded into my wife's existing town that was already on this hard drive, and that taught me that saves are forward compatible. But because of all the changes to the game, once I save using Deluxe, I won't be able to continue using this save with the vanilla game. Resetti's gonna hate me for this one. Can you still play on GameCube? Absolutely, plenty of people are already doing that, and it works great. As per me, I'm playing on an Xbox Series using Dev Mode. Oh, let me introduce you to Noodler. Nothing to do with Deluxe, this has just been my Animal Crossing persona since the very beginning, and every time I play, I make sure he's there to forever continue the adventure in his off-scene print. How'd I get Noodler's face right every time? Just use a guide online to make the right selections during the introduction. This works the same in Animal Crossing Deluxe. Now we've entered the game, and KK will ask us a couple questions, like whether we want to enable widescreen or the borderless camera. Good chance you'll say yes to those. While we're here in a speech bubble, notice how the fonts are in a higher resolution than ever. Rover's asking me for the time, and, well, look at that. Before the game's clock would only go up to the year 2030, 4 years from now. With Deluxe, it goes all the way up to 2099. What happens after then? I don't know, leave it up to the next generation of modders, I guess. You aren't required to pick a biological sex anymore. If this applies to you, you can select It's Complicated. After this, we get to choose our skin tone, with 8 selections available. These new diversity options are a positive update, letting more people feel included. They're only surface-level customizations that don't affect the gameplay at all, it's just for individual preference. Now check this out. We get to pick from an, albeit limited, selection of maps for our town. This is huge because in the past, you would have to reset after all these lengthy introductions if you didn't like the map you got. And this one is also huge. You can entirely skip Tom Nook's part-time job now. What a relief! If you do skip, he gives you the map right away. Otherwise, if you accept the job, the game continues as usual and you don't get a map until later. Then you also can't shop for a while, you have to wear this stupid outfit. Basically, the deciding factor is, are you a new player or returning? Whatever the case, consider this simple new trick. Now by holding L or R, you can speed up the text. This isn't an entirely new feature as you can also do it with the B button, but holding down L or R is just more comfortable in my opinion. Alright, here we are in my new town I've called Slippy. Let's see how long it takes for me to get my off-scene shirt back. Starting off, we can see that there's a new town flagpole by the entrance. Originally, this was only available on Animal Island. There are new weather effects, like fog for example, or falling leaves in autumn. Looks really cool. In the vanilla game, you can only zoom the camera indoors, but now in Deluxe, you can use all those camera controls outside. It's an incredibly useful tool for searching the terrain. Also, on a few occasions, the extended perspective would let me see things that I otherwise wouldn't. Here it was pretty helpful, where I could determine whether this butterfly was going to come back or not. Do you remember the difficulty of finding a flying balloon after hearing it in the wind? Well, here's what's actually happening, and without this camera mod, I probably wouldn't have found that balloon. You can spot other miscellaneous things too, like Pete the mailman, who's visible for slightly longer than usual. Okay, this next one is big. Picked up bells will no longer sit in your pockets, it immediately goes to your wallet. Imagine your pockets are full. Now you don't have to worry about it. These are the kinds of little tweaks that make you think, why wasn't this in the game to begin with? And check this out. Money bags you do keep in your pocket can reach a limit of 99,000 bells, as opposed to just the regular 30,000. While we're in the pocket menu, might as well share that changing clothes has become super easy. You don't have to click and drag it to your person anymore. Just click the shirt and hit wear to instantly swap with what you're currently wearing. All these conveniences start adding up to a greatly improved experience, but here's the funny part, we've hardly scratched the surface yet. Take a walk to Nook's and buy your set of tools. Now he'll ask if you'd like the description of how to use it, instead of being forced to sit there and run through his lengthy text. Head outside and try using your D-pad. Check this out. You can quickly swap between tools without having to open the pocket menu. Huge upgrade. Care for some fishing? Maybe finding some bugs to catch? Now there's a pop-up message to inform you that this is your first time catching that creature, followed by an encouragement to check your encyclopedia. You'll now find an icon over creatures that you've already donated to the museum. This is great for keeping track without having to go there and check for yourself. Speaking of, our friend Blathers at the museum can identify fossils now. Well, not immediately though. You will need to donate 15 pre-analyzed fossils first. So you'll be sending them through the mail initially until Blathers gets his certificate. I love this edition and the way that Deluxe has handled it. It's a great way to promote engagement with the game's museum before giving you complete freedom. Speaking of donations, you'll have a lot more to contribute this time. There are so many new bugs and fish that were brought over from Animal Forest E+, which is the Japanese-only expansion of Animal Crossing. Let's take a look. Some of these new creatures you'll find at the beach, where there are now 3D models of all the seashells. I believe this was added to E+, to make the hermit crabs less distinguishable among other shells. And now you can see that all in Deluxe as well. Turns out you can drop creatures in Deluxe. I'm not sure why I would need to do that, but there are probably some uses for it. Remember trying to catch a bee and you don't quite make it in time? Ouch, what a nasty sting. Now you can go to Tom Nook's and purchase medicine to heal yourself. Otherwise, in the past, you'd have to wait for the next play session to remove that pesky eyesore. Enough shaking trees for bees, let's get some fruit. If I'm holding the net or fishing rod, I don't have to put my tool away to shake it anymore. If you're holding the shovel, axe, or watering can, just switch to one of the others quickly using your D-pad. When picking up fruit, they now bundle together in a basket, holding up to 10 each. Now you can run around your town and most likely pick up all the fruit without running out of pocket space. Here's a restored fruit type that didn't make it into the original game, chestnuts. In development, these were what became cherries in the final game. Weird, isn't it? Well, now we have both. Ever wanted to exercise your free will by sitting on rocks and tree stumps? Now you can, so go right ahead. It is pretty good for taking screenshots. One of the big features of Animal Forest E+ was the ability to wake up Nook after hours by smashing in his door with a shovel or axe. Now you can do it in Deluxe with a cost of 20% higher purchases or 30% less offering for sold items. It's not really worth selling at this time, but great for checking out the daily items if you missed out. At the expense of, well, Tom's good night's sleep. You'll even wake up his kids once you unlock Nookingtons. Maybe you should be a better neighbor. Makes a good time to mention that all E+ villagers are also here in Deluxe. Maybe I had some, I'm not really sure who they are to be honest. This is a great quality of life update regardless, as the diversity of villagers will make the game feel less repetitive in the long run. In regards to E+ items, we have exclusive wallpapers and carpets imported. I also found this mushroom mural wallpaper, which is apparently backported from New Horizons? Numerous other things were backported as well, such as watering cans, which were first introduced in the DS game Wild World. Remember that weird IQ version of the N64 game? It had some exclusive items, and those are here too, like this copper archer, for example. Before, if you wanted to save your items, you'd have to either keep them in your house or put them in a closet, where you only have a handful of slots. It was never very useful. Now the storage space is massive, copying the format used in future Animal Crossing games. Ah, my beautiful shitcore band. I didn't get around to trying the town decorations, but you can see them for a moment in the mod's trailer. These can be erected with the help of an NPC named Rena that occasionally shows up. They look a bit like things that you can already find on the map, like that cart banner, for example. Have you heard of a certain scrapped item that can corrupt your town's saved data? It's the paper planes, and Deluxe added them back. Kinda nerve-wracking to even try this considering the infectious disease it once was. See the video by Hunter R for more info. Regardless, these work just fine in Deluxe. Kinda pointless, but functional. You make one by simply creating it from a piece of paper in your pocket menu. Remember having to mail each and every letter individually? Never again. Now you can send up to 5 at once. Sounds cool, right? Well, this is just one change to the mailing system. You can mass read your mail too, again instead of doing it all individually. You can even mass remove presents and mass open them. Very useful if you've just received a lot of analyzed fossils in the mail. Pre-Blather's certificate, of course. Before, you weren't able to delete your mail indoors, which makes no sense whatsoever. That logic has been fixed in Deluxe, and now you can delete mail wherever you want. Lastly, on the subject of mail, now you can send your fellow villagers KK air checks. I guess it's useful if you don't like the song currently playing in their house. I hope that controlling nature stays in your video games. Nonetheless, the option to do this is pretty neat. If you've played the modern games, you might already know about town ordinances, which I believe were introduced in New Leaf. These lead to certain changes within your town, like how long stores stay open, how often weeds grow, etc. Now you can change it in Deluxe at the post office. This one might excite you. The basement wallpaper and flooring can be changed now. Might not sound like a big deal initially, but keep in mind that this is one of 3 possible rooms that you yourself can influence. Let's be honest, without being able to change the walls or floors, it was always more of a storage area. Let's move 2 stories higher to our top floor, which can now be expanded to the same 8x8 tile space as the main floor remodel. A very costly upgrade though. Tom Nook asks for 798,000 bells to do it, so you better start saving up. I didn't manage to get that far before making this video. Remember that little gyroid friend outside? Now you can give him a nickname. I like these little just for fun additions. They don't change much, but it does let you be a little more creative with your town. I was informed of something that Cuyler's currently working on, where villagers can present as sick occasionally. The player can then buy them medicine at the store and give it to the villager to heal them. Pretty cool. I believe this idea once again came from Wild World. Alright, that's what I noticed myself about Deluxe, with some help from the Animal Crossing modding Discord server. I haven't shown everything, but I believe the features I have showcased thus far are more than enough to get really excited about Deluxe. It feels like a reflection of what Nintendo could have done had they been able to update the game for years to come. The mod's developer Cuyler told me about a couple things that are highly requested but likely won't be coming to the mod. Certain changes might give the game a dollhouse-like quality, which many have identified as a downgrade in future Animal Crossing games. One such example would be an easy weed removal service. Personally, I hate the weeds in this game. I'd prefer if they didn't exist whatsoever. They tend to make the town look unpresentable. Sure, I could pull them all myself or come into contact with Wisp, but it's just too much work for a game that I'm playing to have fun, in my opinion at least. The video game equivalent of genuine chores, it's just not how I want to spend my downtime. One suggestion I was given is to enact the Beautiful Town Ordinance, which halves the number of weeds that spawn per day. I guess that's something, but it doesn't really solve the issue. Deluxe is no doubt the ultimate GameCube Animal Crossing experience, at least until the decompilation comes out. From what I understand, we're still quite far away from that. Only a few GameCube games have yet been decompiled, and none have a released PC port as of this date. All I can say is that Animal Crossing Deluxe should be the community's choice up until then. If you're curious about the state of all these things, or just want to keep up to date, the Animal Crossing modding Discord is the place to be. There's already an HD texture pack you can check out, which is being worked on frequently. Animal Crossing for GameCube was itself such a huge part of my childhood, and I know that's the case for countless others as well. To be able to say I've met numerous people in my small city who say the same, I know the global numbers must be jaw-dropping. Big thanks to the Deluxe team for doing something really special like this for all the existing fans of the game. So, how did Noodler end up by the time I'd finished this video? Let's take a look at his house. This here is my cozy main floor, in theory where Noodler sleeps. It's a comfy place with numerous workstations and places to relax. I have more ideas on how to expand on this, but I'll need to find the right items first. This is, of course, just what I found during my playthrough. I unlocked the top room shortly before writing this script, so I haven't done much with it yet. The idea is to turn it into some kind of kitchen. And of course we have the man cave basement. Not much to say, just a bunch of neat things to toy around with. Of course this serves no true practical purpose for me. It's just fun to design your living space without all the extra headaches that come with it in real life. Just be sure to give infinitely more attention to your real home. You've probably seen those memes of people cleaning up their Sims room only to be existing in one of the messiest rooms imaginable. Remember, your own life will always be infinitely more important than a game. I feel like you need to remind yourself of that when playing. Animal Crossing can consume an ungodly amount of your free time if you let it. Especially if you're trying to get one tedious thing finished, like finding my off-scene print. I ended up traveling between an old town for past Noodler to drop off. Mission accomplished, sorta? Unfortunately, I couldn't find my favorite gyroids, and the old town didn't have them either. But for the sake of it, I found videos online and recreated it myself.
Deckite. Deckite.
Ah, the sound of my youth.
Big gap.
Now that the video's over, I transferred the save game file to my Powkitty X18S, which now sits on my bedside table. Yep, you can take this with you anywhere if you've got a modern handheld capable of running the Dolphin emulator. Animal Crossing before tucking in at night? Just can't be beat. So, do you plan on checking out Deluxe? You can, after all, play New Horizons on your Switch instead, so it all depends what you're into, really. As someone who has always preferred the GameCube game, now that it has such great modern features, I'll probably just stick with it like I have in the past. Me and my sister got this game brand new as kids in the 2000s. Look at the disc. We've played this for thousands of hours, no exaggeration, and there's barely a mark on the disc. It is so easy to take care of your physical media, you just have to put it back in the case. Either way, thanks for watching everyone, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.